Yo, what is up, everybody? So today I'm going to show you how I created this super simple gym website utilizing HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And also, this website has some animations as well. So let me just go ahead and refresh the page. And boom, you see that right there? Little drop down animation. And then also we got a little hero section, which I'm sure you've seen. And then we have the little Navbar right here with just little hover effects. And then just right there button. Now, watch when I scroll down here, we got a little features section. And again, they navigate or animate in from the left section or the left side of the screen. And then also you can go ahead and change the duration, customize the speed, and get all fancy with that too. And then also we can scroll down here. I got a little membership cards right here. So in case you guys want to sign up, this isn't a real gym, but you guys get the points. And you can see here, this is like a typical membership little section right there, and then this could lead to a particular page where they can sign up. And then here we got some personal trainers, some fitness coaches, and they can see the actual layout. This is utilizing CSS Grid, but this isn't the typical one where you just see like them stacked on top. This is using something with CSS Grid row and columns to where you can position them differently than just typical, side by side. So you can see here that these aren't the typical, I would say, layouts that I created before, but this is a cool effect that I wanted to test out and share with you how I created that. And then also we can go down here and we got a little email sign up form action. And then if I were to go here and just be like, yo, and I don't put the email, it's going to be like, hey, put that at email. And then you would have to go in and obviously implement backend and whatnot. But for this example, this is just the front end. And then you can see here, we got the footer. And then if we were to scroll back to the top, let me shrink this. And you can see we got a little mobile menu action here, typical mobile menu, and then also little X animates. And also it is mobile responsive as well. So you can go down here, and if you want to refresh the page, you can see the animations again. But I kept it to where they only display once so that the page or the website doesn't go crazy and takes forever to load. But if you were to want to implement that, there are additional ways you can do that. But you can see here, the actual thing with the layout is everything. I made it to where it has the first text, and then it actually has the people, and then has the text at the bottom, and then we got a typical little email, and then the footer here. And then last but not least, let me inspect this page, and let me just show you like the other font. By the way, I'm using Chrome in case you're like, yo, how did I do this? That's through Chrome browser. And then you can see here, this is just like a typical Moto 4, was it G4? Same thing, and then also iPhones from my iPhone X, or iPhoners, I guess you say. And you can see the same thing too. And then the smallest one on Chrome is the full, which is what, 280. And you can see here, everything still fits nice and snug. So this is what we're gonna create for today. So if you wanna see how I did that, then make sure you watch the video all the way to the very end. And without further ado, let's hop into VS Code and let me show you how I created this. All right, so here I am on my code editor. So I am using VS Code. So if you did want to follow along exactly, then definitely go ahead and install that code editor if you do not have it already. But if you do, then go ahead and create a new folder for this project, which I have done already here. And then let's go ahead and click this little icon, and let's just create our first index.html file right here. And then let's create another file. Let's just call this one styles.css. Now in the index.html, before we do get into that, I want to make sure you go to this extensions icon. Make sure you have live server installed. So type in just live server, and you can see we got this one right here by Ritwig, and that got like 8.3, 8.3 mil. So go ahead, install that, and then you're pretty much set to go. And then let's go back to our files, and here I'm gonna go ahead and do Shift1, so exclamation mark, and that emit, so you just tab it, bam, auto completes for you. Here we can just change this to like fitness gym, whatever you want to call this. And then here we are in the body tag. So let's just go ahead and create the first section, and let's just do a test really quick. So let's just be like, yes sir, save that, and then we will right click, open with live server, and let's see if it loads. All right, we got yes sir right here. Awesome, perfect, we are good to go. So if that is showing for you, and then if you want to do like numbers, we can save it. Bam, we got the hot reload too, so you can see that it saves by default. So now we can go ahead and actually create the navbar section. So let's go ahead and erase this. And I'm gonna do Command / on my keyboard, and it makes a little comma or a comment. And then I'm just gonna type navbar section. Note you do not have to do this. I'm only doing this for tutorial's sake so that you can see what I'm creating. But again, whatever floats your boat. And here, let's create a nav. So I'm just gonna say nav here. And cool little trick, if you guys have emits and using VS Code, you can just go and just head and do dots and just type in the class name you want to create this. So just say nav with a class of navbar, press tab, bam, it's already autocomplete for you. All right, so now we can go inside this navbar. And by the way, I am naming these classes just because I can understand them, and also I think it's easier for people to read. But again, whatever preference you have in terms of naming things, go crazy with it. But again, that's just your own preference. But for here, let me just call this one the navbar logo. So I'm just gonna have an A tag and then press dot and just call this navbar. I'm gonna just do double underscore and then just put logo. Now, if I'm using Sass, then this would end up making more sense utilizing the naming convention. But again, we're just using regular CSS, so it's not a big deal. But just for this example, I'm using double underscores. Feel free to do whatever you like. I'm gonna press tab here. And ideally, this would be your image, but I don't have an image for this example, so I'm just gonna have straight up an A tag for text. We just put the / for the link, and let's just put UX for the logo name, and then we can go under this. And now let's create the, I call this is a little like navbar or mobile menu. You could do this with just straight up an icon, but again, the way we had the little, let me go back to it. The little animation with the X. This is the way I did it, and I'm sure there's 100 million ways you can do this again, but let's just do this. Let's just do dot. So in order to create a div, you just have to do dot, and you can just say like navbar class name. I'm just call this one toggle. And then cool thing is you can do a hashtag, so like IDs, and essentially you don't even have to like double type. You can just do it, continue it, and then I'm just gonna call this one mobile dash menu. Press tab. And bam, now you can see that. So I have the ID because I'm going to use JavaScript to target that. And see how we created a div with just the class and the ID just without typing, all in one line essentially. And then now we can go in here, and there's going to be a little span with a class of bar. So we can just say span dot bar, press tab, and just leave it empty. And then we can do shift alt down arrow twice, and it copies it 3 times. So we have essentially 3 of them. And I'm done with this, so now we can just go ahead and press enter here. And also if I save this, right now it looks like this. And also I have Prettier installed too, forgot to tell you that. Prettier. So in case you're wondering like why is my code formatting, I have certain settings for that, but if you guys install this, you might have to restart VS Code, just depending on if it's not working or not. And there's also a bunch of other settings and like tutorials where it's like dedicated just to Prettier and like formatting your code, but feel free to watch those whenever you want. But for now, mine just auto formats, and sometimes like it doesn't do it clean, but I mean, I'll change it later. But for now, it's pretty good. And then also I have these rainbow indents, so just look up rainbow dash indent too, and you can see that too. And also I have another video showing my extensions in case you're like trying to find all of them. But right now, let's go under here and let's do another div with the class and call this one navbar underscore menu. And then this can be the essentially like all the items, so like the home, about, or services, whatever. So like under this, we can do an A tag, and then I'm just gonna call this what? Navbar link underscore link. Press tab here. href can just be /, and then this can be just our little home. And then here, we can do the shift alt down arrow 1, 2, 3. We'll change this to, let's do services, and then let's do plans, and last but not least we will do trainers. So feel free to name this whatever you want to. And for the slashes, so in order to navigate to a different page with HTML, you can do the page name. So let's call this one services.html. So we have to create a new file, which we'll do in a bit. But for now, let me actually do Command B so you can see better. And then here we can go into this little link right here. We can just do plans.html. And this page will just be trainer.html. So I'll save that really quick, Command B, and then we can just create that really quick. So let's just do what we got, services.html. We can straight up like copy this whole thing. So let's just copy that, paste it here, and just save it. So now if I click like services, see how it's like exactly the same, but then I click on plans and that'd be an error, because plans and trainers don't have anything. So again, we can go ahead and create the new pages. So like plans.html, and we can just paste in the same thing here, and then also trainers.html too, just paste the exact file, and we are pretty much good for the pages. So now you can see like everything just goes back to the exact same code. So we're now back on index.html, and then pretty much for the HTML code we're done. We just have to style it. So let's go here, and then let's press enter below the nav, and let me call this one the hero section. So let's style this nav first, make it look pretty, look good, and then we can continue to the next section. So right now I'm gonna just do a little thing where you do a colon, call it roots, and it's essentially just to have all my main colors of the website at the top. And then if you ever want to change the website colors, it's just super easy access right at the top versus going through individual line by line, which you get crazy. So like here, you can just call out whatever, you can name it whatever you want, but I'm gonna say red, and just put the hex code hashtag F9032F. And then we can have a dash, call this black, and it's hashtag 000. Now it's literally the hex code black, but if you wanted to make like a darkish color, you can name it like dark 1, dark 2, and then have different variations of like shades. But if this website's colors are pretty self-explanatory or simple, so I don't have to go crazy with that. And let's just dash white, which is just straight up FFF. So in case you did want to change these, you can rename them and then also change the color of the hex code depending on what your design looks like. Then here, the little reset. So let's do Shift 8, little time symbol, curly braces here. Let's do box sizing, not box. Box sizing, border box. Let's do margin 0, padding 0, and we're gonna have a font family, call it Poppins, but we'll have to import that in a second. Family will be Poppins with sans serif default. So we'll save it here, and then nothing happened besides, actually nothing really happened because we did not link our CSS file. So let's just go here, and I'm just gonna put this one, let's see, where should I put this, above my title maybe, or below? Actually, yeah, let's do below the title so I can find it, and then we can just do link, press tab here. If it doesn't autocomplete, you're gonna have to type it out, but then pretty much we're gonna have href, and whatever your styles or your CSS file, so mine style.css, and you can see that the little reset here push everything up in the corner, nice and tidy. So now let's go ahead and start styling the navbar. So I'm gonna see .navbar, and right now let's do the background. Let's make the color. So this is cool. If you've never seen this root little trick, you can pretty much do what you said. There's a var parentheses, and then you type in the name you called it. So for this one, I want the background to be black. So I'm gonna say the value here, so var -- black. Semicolon, save it, and bam. So now if I wanted to change this to like green, I save it. See how it's still named black, but it's green. So then you'd have to change this to like green or lime, whatever. So again, that's just showing you like how this stuff works. Let me just reverse Command Z, change it back. And then let's set the height. I made this navbar a little, I'll say skinnier, I guess you could say, or shorter for this video. So 60. And then we'll do a padding. This cool little trick for padding is we can do like a calc value. So I'm gonna say 0.5 rem first. So that's top and bottom. And also rem, in case you don't know, one rem is by default 16 pixels. And then if you wanted to change that initial value, you can. There's a little trick you can do, but I'm just gonna keep it by the default value. And then I can say calc here. And this is gonna be the left and right side. So calc, I'm just gonna do 100 viewport width minus 1200 pixels. So this is essentially how wide I want the site to span. So like if you notice, like the edges, they stay within here. And also, if you have like a mega big screen, then it's literally just going to be the same size here. It doesn't matter what screen you're using. And then it's going to be, let's see, outside this parentheses, we're going to do a division sign divided by 2 for both sides, semicolon here. Then we'll save it. So now right now, you can see it stops right here. And then ideally it's going to span again and stop right there. So in order to do that, let's go ahead and let's flex these nav items. So we can say display flex, and you see how everything puts it online, and then justify content. So if you're brand new, you have no idea, Flexbox, CSS, grid. Pretty much right now we're going to space this evenly to the end. So this is the thing you call space between, and bam, watch this. It just pushes it pretty much to the max width of your thing that you created. So my padding stops at these ends. So just there's like this massive spacing here because it's pushing it. So if you had like 3 or 4 items, they would basically all spaced evenly, but they'd still push the outer ones to the end of whatever your container or your little box that you have everything wrapped around. And then let's do align items to the center. So now you see that it's nice and centered there. And then I'm gonna set a position to be relative. So if you're still new to like positioning, this will come in effect when we have our icon, because I'm gonna do position absolute and have it position at a particular spot. But in case you're confused about that, we'll get to that in just a second. Now let's target the logo. So let's just do navbar underscore logo curly brace. Color will be, let's set that var dash white. Check this out, boom. See it change the color white. Text decoration, I gotta remove the underline, so I'm gonna say none. And then we're gonna do padding. I want the top and bottom to have no padding and the left and right to have 1 rem. So the reason I did that is because on mobile, it has the padding right down the left. If I remove that, it's gonna be touching it, and I just don't like that. So if you see, it's touching it, and I don't want to be touching. So I got it like this. And if you want to do 2 rem, you want to be more, then do 2 rem, go crazy with it, whatever you like to do. And then here, we're just gonna have a little hover. So let's do what do navbar underscore link, and then we scroll back up. And then to hover, you do colon hover. So now we can just say color, and let's set that to var of the red. And now we hover, it is red. So we still got actually completely forgot that I did this should be, my bad. This is where I messed up. This should be the links. Here, now you can see, now we got the padding. And then let's do .navbar underscore logo. I forgot to skip that one. And then let's just do color. We can basically copy this, paste this. We can change this since it's only, technically it doesn't need the padding. Like if I save it, it's still gonna fit. But since this is just by itself, we can just straight up do padding left, not elf. So what is that? L-E-F-T. And you can just do 1 rem here. And then also we can increase the font size to like 1.5 rem. All right, so that's better. And then here you can see this padding is spacing each of these out side by side. If not, if I were to go 0, see how they're super close, and do it again like that. All right, so now we just fixed that. And technically we are set. Now we just gotta make this mobile responsive. So how are we gonna do that? Well, let's do media queries. So we're gonna say at media, screen, and max width. And we're gonna do 768. And that's kind of like the tablet sizing. And let's do what? Navbar link. And I want these words, home, service, plans, trainers, to disappear. So I'm gonna say display none. And you're probably wondering, why do I want them to disappear? Is because I want the little hamburger menu to display instead on this screen width or screen size. So now let's just do .navbar underscore menu. Now the thing is, we won't be able to see this. So actually, let me see if I can do this. Because right now it's we're gonna need JavaScript, and you won't be able to see what's happening unless this is being created. So let me just comment this out for 1 second. Save this. Let's create our JavaScript file. So let's just go app.js. And if you're still in your JavaScript, don't worry, this is pretty basic, but it's not that much code. So pretty much what I want to do is toggle the mobile menu. So in order to do that, I'm just going to call this const, naming it menu, and then I'm going to set this equal to documents, and then I'm going to target this by saying query selector, and I want to target the ID. So I mean, there's people that do where they create IDs and target it in JavaScript, or you can target the class, but this ID is the one right here with the little span, the bars, and this is going to be hashtag mobile dash menu, and then I'm going to say const menu links. I'm going to set that equal to documents dot query selector, and then I'm just going to target the navbar underscore menu. So now I'm targeting this here, because I want this to display the drop down when I click on the icon. Then we can say const nav logo equal to documents dot query selector, and we'll just do hashtag navbar underscore logo. Forgot the quotes, so make sure put the quotes there, and then let's do const. Actually, let me comment so you can see. Let's do display mobile menu. I'm gonna say const, call this mobile menu. I'm gonna set this equal to an arrow function, and then curly braces here, and then I'm just gonna say menu dot class list dot toggle. So essentially, what I'm doing here is I'm targeting the menu, which is the mobile menu ID, and then I'm adding this class list, and it's basically going to toggle this on and off, and I want to toggle is active. And then for the menu links now, I want to target and add a class list and toggle it, and I'm going to have the active. And then we can add this too, because notice like basically you can't scroll anywhere, so I can even add a body, and then you can basically say const body equals to documents dot query selector. And just depending on how you style your website, you don't need this unless it has like the scroll on the left and right when you don't want it. But I'm just gonna say body dot class list. And when you're wondering what body, like the literal body, like of this entire design or the website, I'm gonna say the class list dot toggle dot, or no, just do active. Alright, so this is pretty much all the code. And the last thing we need to do is add an event listener. So event listener essentially is something, think of it like an action. So what I'm gonna do is I'm target the menu, and then I'm gonna add an event listener to it. And I'm listening for a click. So essentially like here, this is the menu, which we'll create in just a second. And whenever I click it, it's gonna trigger something. So we needed to trigger the function, which is the mobile menu, which should be capitalized M. So this function right here, every time you click the menu, which contains the, where's that? These three bars, which is literally these, it will trigger the mobile menu and basically add all these classes. And then when you click it again, it turns it off. So it's like toggling. So now let's just say this really quick. Also go back to index.html, and let's see, right below or above the body tag, let's do a script tag here, press tab, and then inside of the script tag src, you can just do app.js. Let's save that, and now let's go back and install this. And first off, let's do this. Let's first create the bar first. So let me just delete this first. We'll add to it in just a second. Let's just do .navbar underscore toggle, and then I'm gonna say .bar curly braces. Set the width to 25 pixels. Set the height to 3 pixels. Set the margin to 5 pixels auto. And let's do transition 0.3s ease in out. Background will be var of -- white. And display, let's do block with cursor pointer. So bam, we got a little bar action here. Now what I want to do is actually target the ID now. So ID mobile dash menu. And remember when I said I had position relative like way up here? Now I want to have position, what happened? Position absolute on this. And the reason why is because you can notice how the bars are just in some random position. I want to position this 15% from the top. And then I want this to be from the right, I want it to be 5%. Now you can do pixel values too. And right now if I save this, it's not perfect. So there's one trick you can do where you can do like transform and then translate. We're gonna do like 5% and then 20%. And again, this all determines on your logo, your design. And this is just one way to do it. And pretty much right now, if we click it, like nothing's happening, right? So what I want to do is actually, let's see. There's like the, yeah, there you go, the cursor pointer. Okay. So now under here, we can do the what's it called? The spans. So we can just say hashtag mobile. So ID mobile menu. And we have the is.active. So again, active, which was this line right here. We're adding this class now. So basically this is a new class. And then we'll have dot bar colon nth dash child of 2. So if you've never seen nth child, essentially it's targeting the second bar, the middle bar. And what it's going to do is it's going to make it hidden. So if I go here and do opacity 0, if I click this, it just disappears. See that? So you're probably wondering, why am I disappearing? That makes no sense. Well, for the animation is because then the top bar, which will be the nth child 1, and then the bottom bar nth child 3, they'll essentially like rotate at like around 45 degrees so that it forms an X. So like we can just go here, copy this. Let's paste this twice. So 1, 2. Change this to nth child 1, and then change this to nth child 3, and then do transform for nth child 1, and let's do translate y 8 pixels, and then rotate 45 degrees. So right now if I save this, see how it's rotated 45 degrees, and then I can just copy this code here, paste that here, and then I'm gonna set this to negative 45 degrees, and then rotate y negative 8 degrees, save it there, and bam. So now you see this little thing is from our JavaScript, which toggles this class and then just turns it off and on. And then now we just gotta create the mobile menu to display. So here, let's go, and earlier I added the nav menu, so I can go here navbar underscore menu, and let's do display grid, and then let's do grid template columns. It's going to be 1FR. And let's see if I can do, because it's going to be really hard to tell. But let me just write these out for you. So let's do grid template rows repeats 4, 100 pixels. So right now what I'm doing, you can't see it, but I'm basically just have these in one column. So this entire thing is 1FR, one column. And then the rows, so each one's one row and it's each 100 pixels large. So that's what we're creating right now. Let me see if I can actually try to display this. Let's do navbar underscore menu dot active curly brace. Let's set the top to 100%, opacity to 1. Let's do z index of 99, height 100. Viewport height, so that covers the entire screen. Let's do font size to 1.5 rem, and then background will be, let's do var dash dash black. So let's say this here, close it, and the reason it's not displaying yet is I have to add position absolute on here. So let's do on the original position absolutes. And then also, let's see, let's set the width to 100%. So right now, this is what it looks like. You can see And right now I need to add top to minus 1000 pixels because I don't want it to be actually in here. So now if I click it, now you can see that it's like this. Now you're probably wondering, where in the world are the actual menu items? So let's see. Right now we need to go underneath this active. And actually I think, yeah, let's see. Let's make sure I have this properly. Oh yeah, one thing, yeah. I don't want to display none of these nav links, my bad. It might actually, because this is just the, these are just the individual A tags. What I want to actually do is, instead of displaying none, because this is the nav menu that we're essentially hiding with the negative 1000, these are actually where I want to do display flex. So hold on, let me toggle it really quick. You can see. So now you can see our nav menu items showing. And then let's just do align items to be center. And justify content center here. And now you can see it's like this. Now in case we should go over again this, like if I did like minus 10 pixels, right now it's active, but I close it, you can still see it's like there. If I even do like 100, or yeah, 100 here, you can see it's still within like the view. So I did minus 1000 just so that like it's completely gone. And then also you could do like opacity 0, or even like whichever preference you'd want to, but so far this pretty much hides it. And then you can see it's like this. And then also the body tag we have here, this like active thing, we can go here and let's actually, we can put this, technically we can put this right here. We can just say like body dot active curly brace, and then I can say overflow dash y. And you're wondering why am I doing this? Because like see how this like little scroll here, I don't need that for the mobile, so I can just do this, say hidden, and then I can do shift all down arrow, then say overflow x hidden, and now we just have the mode menu like that. That's pretty much the nav bar there. And now that one wasn't too bad, but now we can see we can switch off and notice how like everything changes. And it looks like let's see what happened there. Yeah, okay, looks like it's good. I don't know why it was. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're good now. All right, so now let's go ahead, go back to the index.html. All right, so now let's create the hero section. So this one is actually really simple. I'm gonna say dot hero. That's the class. Press tab, and you can call this hero container, whatever fits. But let's do another div. Let me call this one hero underscore content. And then we're also going to have animations, but I'll do that later. So I don't want to confuse it right now. So let's just add that hero content div. And then let's have an h1 inside of this div. I'll just call this one Lux Fitness. And then under the h1, let's do a p tag. And then let's just call this one join now for $29. And then under here, let's do a tag. You could make this a button too, but I'm just gonna have it for a link for now, and then I'll just design it to look like a button. But we can have the href, just a slash, and I forgot, let's just add a class. And let's call this one button. And then here, let's just do get started. So save that there. So that's our hero section right now. And then let's go to styles.css. And then let's pretty much start adding in our style. So this one is going to be below the navbar section. So I'll just do a comment, just call this one hero section. And then we can do is we're going to need an image. So actually let's go ahead over here. Let's create a folder. So click this icon. Let's call this images. And let me show you the site I got these images from. So here is one site called pexels.com. There's another one called Unsplash. But you can try and type in gym and see what pops up. And we can go here to, let's just do horizontal for now and see if anything looks nice. And right now this is your preference. Like you don't have to have specific images. But let me check the other side too, because I can't remember exactly what side I got these, but I just know I got it from one of these. I think it's on Unsplash too. So let me check Unsplash really quick. So here's unsplash.com. It's the same exact concept. And I think Unsplash is where I got this one. So let's change the orientation here to landscape. and just pretty much scroll. Like here's the one of the pictures, so you can go to this one, and then you can go to I think if you click it and it should show the like related pics. So I think this is the next one right here under it, and this is the other one. So go ahead and you can download these images. So I just go here, and you can do like medium or small, but just note the larger the image, it could slow your site down. So you could also compress it. There's like free tools to compress images to make it like less size, the file. So a smaller file size so that your like website's not going crazy. But since we're using just regular HTML CSS, we're limited with optimization. If you go more advanced utilizing like React and Gatsby, they have like automatic image optimization. But if you're just starting out, you won't get to that at that point yet. But in case you already know HTML CSS, I have React Gatsby website tutorials, so you can check it out on my channel. But for now, let's just go and you can click medium since it's the hero and just download that. And then also you can go and download the original one, which is right here too. Just click it and just download that too. Now I already have these all downloaded, so I'm just gonna go and drag this into my project. So let me just bring up my file, and pretty much you can also rename them too. So let me just go real quick. So I actually have 3 images for the gym, and I also have 4 people that I have too. So let me show you 2. So right now this is gym 1. I just called, by the way, yours is going to be named like crazy letters, so just rename it to like gym-1. And then I got gym 2. It's another picture. Gym 3 is just like another, you can literally pick anything for this one. And then just person 1, person 2, person 3, and person 4. And the way I got these is I just typed in like fitness trainer. You can type fitness trainer, or like I think I've typed in like fitness guy. Actually, no. Yeah, there's one. Yeah, so you can see here. And I think I changed this to portrait, by the way, too. Yeah, there you go. So like fitness guy here. And then, you know, feel free to pick whoever you want to. Type of fitness girl, same thing. And you'll be able to basically get any of these images right here. So let me just go back to this site here. And no, we're not going to use these people images yet. I just want to just drag it in just to save time. But eventually we're going to have it, so we might as well download some. And then we can shrink this back. And now the hero, so let's just say dot hero, curly brace here. And the way I inserted the background images, I use this little kind of like a shortcut, but there's a CSS product called background image, but there's a shortcut where you can just do background. Actually, let me do URL first. So the way you do is do URL, and I autocomplete here. I'll do /images/gym-1.jpg, and let's save it now. And now you can see that the image displays, which would be in the images folder. So make sure it's your gym 1 pic is in the images folder. And then we can actually set the height to be 100 viewport height. So now you can see like it covers the whole thing, but it doesn't have it like center. So we can say background position to be center, and then we say background dash size to be cover. So now you can see it is nice and centered. So that's pretty much how I implemented it. And there's multiple ways you can do this, but this is the easiest because I want to add this linear gradient effect to where it's a little darker, and that way it's not as difficult to read the text. And then you can also make it even darker and darker, just depending. But I'm just going to set a linear dash gradient, and then let's do parentheses here, and then make sure you add a comma, so right before the URL, and let's go back in the parentheses, and let's just say to right, and then comma RGBA and 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.4, and then I'll do a comma here, and then do RGBA again, parentheses 0, 0, 0, 0.1, and then we can just save it and see how like it's a little darker. Now if you wanted to make it like super dark, let me yeah, I gotta like drag this out a little more. This is basically the opacity. So if you make this like 1, it's basically just completely like black, and then this is like 0.9, so 1's the highest. So again, That's just if you want to change the darkness. And then let's do the padding. So let's set the, we can actually copy this padding. So I'm gonna do Command F, say padding here. And we're gonna take from the navbar, we're gonna copy this padding because I use this a lot. Go back all the way down, paste it in here, change nothing because it fits just what I want to do. And then under here, let's do display to be flex, justify content to be flex start, and then align items to be center. Now you can see it's like this. And then here we can just do dot hero underscore content. And let's set the color to white, so var dash dash white. And padding to be 3 rem by 1 rem. And line height to be 1. Perfect. And now, can't really see anything right now. It's not doing anything because I need to add some font size and whatnot. But let's just do dot hero underscore content h1. Let's set the font size. And now we're gonna use this. This is a cool little CSS trick which is called clamp. And essentially clamp, it makes it to where your font size is resized depending on the viewports and your screen size. So instead of you having to individually add media queries for like each breakpoint for like tablet or mobile view, it'll just do it automatically. So like the first value passed in is the lowest value you want the font size to be no matter what. So for me, I want 3 rem to be the lowest. The second is a viewport width. So the higher it is, the larger your font will be. And then the lower you would set on lower. Also, MDM Docs has a pretty good definitions on this too. But I'm gonna say a viewport width. And then I'm gonna say my max will be 7 rem. So if I add semicolon, save this. Look at Lux Fitness. And right now it's like super small. And then it grows to the max size that it wants to be. And since I don't have the Google font added, it's obviously not like exactly the same, but also we do have to add the additional things. So text transform, I'm gonna do uppercase, and then also we can do a margin dash bottom of, let's do 0.5 rem. And let me make this a little, yeah, so you can see it. Then we can do dot hero underscore content p tag, and then there we can just do the same concept with the fonts. And let me just copy all of this, let's paste it here. Let's take away this transform, let's set this to 3 rem, and let's set this to 1 for viewport width, and then 2.5 rem. And then save that there. And then now, let's see, last but not least, we just gotta style the button. So let's do dot button. Let's set the padding to 1 rem by 3 rem. Set the border to none. Set the background to var of dash dash red. Let's set the color to var of dash dash white. Let's set the font size to be 1 rem. Let me scroll up. Let's say cursor pointer, and then let's do outline. I don't want it to be, I just want it to be none. I want to transition. Let's just do 0.3 SEs, and then let's do a text decoration of none with a border radius of 4 pixels. So bam, we just created the button. And then last but not least, we'll just add a hover. So let's do button colon hover. Let's set the color, actually let's set the background to var of dash dash black. So now that is what we got here, and then here as well. So now we can pretty much, let me make sure my where's my mobile nav? Yeah, okay, we're fine here. Yeah, so now let's just pretty much just double check everything was good here, and then we can pretty much do the services section CSS under here. So we haven't added that yet, so let me just save this now. Command B. Let's go back to index, And now we can go ahead and create the services section. So under my div here, I'm gonna go under this, call this services section. And then we can start adding in our services HTML. So let's go ahead and add our HTML. So I'm gonna say dot, and let's just call this one services. Press enter. And I'm gonna do Command B to close this left panel just so you can see it better. And let's do dot services __ container. And then I'm gonna have a div. I don't have any class on here because it's just gonna wrap it with a div. But pretty much, let's have a p tag. Let's call this one top line. And then let's call this one features. And then let's put h1. And let's do dot services __ heading. And we can say what we offer. And then under here, I'm gonna have another div. Let's call this one dot services __ features. Press tab here. And then I'll have a p tag again. Let's do services __ feature. Press tab here. And pretty much here we can add in the group fitness classes. And I'm gonna have icons. So let me show you where I got these icons. And again, this is just extra. You don't have to have them, but in case you did. So let me just show you the site really quick. So here I'm on this site called Font Awesome. And essentially all you need to do is sign up with an account. And then just click on your profile over here and click on the Font Awesome CDN. And they can just scroll down here and then they have this right now. So right now it is currently available for existing users. And they have the pro version as well. But again, by the time you're watching this, maybe they have some new updates or what happens to it. But for now, we're still able to use this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. But I'm sure there's a bunch of other websites that have free icons you can use. But this one is probably the easiest just to implement. But in case you're watching this, like, I don't know how long from the future, and it just happens to be different, then you can always just look up like free icons online. You can download them as well. But for this method, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this CDN link at the top and just paste it in here. I'm gonna save it. And then we'll go back here. And now I'm just gonna pass in these icons. So pretty much here, I'll just say, it's an I tag the way they do it. And they can have like a dot, I can say like FAS dot FA dash check dash circle, and then I'll press tab. And then now we'll essentially have this icon. So let me go back here and let me save this. And now you can see we have the little check mark, so we see that it's working. So in case this doesn't work, you can always download it like an actual icon image and pass it in as like an image, or you can just find like another icon website. But this one's the easiest, at least that I know of. Besides, unless you're using React, which is way easier, but since we're doing just regular HTML CSS, we're limited with our options. So here, let's copy this p tag, and then let's just paste this. So let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll save that right now. And let's change the second one. Let's just do personal trainer sessions. Third one we can say is indoor pool. And then we'll have the fourth one, can just say steam room and sauna. Did I spell that right? Yeah, the point here. And then let's do basketball court. And then the last one, let's do open 24/7. So that's all the features there. So now let me make sure we're on this div. So under the P we have 2 divs, then press enter. And then we can go in here and we can add in an image. So here I can just say another div. And then inside of this div I'll have an image dot services __img. And then src will just be dot / images / gym -2.jpg. And then the alt can just be gym. And I'll save this here. And this is what we currently have right now. So now we just got to style this. So let's go to style the CSS and let's start adding in our styles. So first thing, let's go here and do dot services. Let's set the padding to be 8 rem, and then I say calc of 100 view per width minus 1200 pixels divided by 2. So now we have padding. Then I'm gonna do dot services underscore container. Here I can just say display to be grid template columns. This can be 1FR, 1FR. So if you've never seen this, essentially it's going to be side by side because it's 2 columns. So literally 1, 2. And the difference is this image is so much bigger, so it's spanning more. So we're going to have to set a width and height on that so that it doesn't look like this. But let's make sure, let's add a padding of 1 rem on each side just so we got some spacing here. And looks like you can't, yeah, there we go. So now let's go under here. Let's do dot services underscore img. I'm gonna set a width to 100% and then a height to 100%. Now you can see it is nice and tiny, but we just have to make this more responsive too. But first let's edit the features. So I'm gonna say dot top line. And let's set the color to var of -- red. Let's set the text transformation to uppercase. Let's set the font weight to bold. And the margin - bottom to 0.5 rem. So now it's red. And let's do dot services underscore heading. Let's do margin - bottom 1 rem. Let's do font size to be clamp of 2 rem by 6 view per width by 3 rem. So that's the heading. And then let's do dot services underscore features. I'll just say list style to be none. And then let's do services underscore feature. So now the actual individual feature. And let's set the margin - bottom to be 1.5 rem. And font size to be clamp of 1 rem, 5 per width, 1.2 rem. Save that there. And then I want the actual icon, so .fa - check - circle. Let's do margin - right. That'll be 0.5 rem, and the color will be var with -- red. So now all we need to do is make this mobile responsive. So the easiest way is just to stack them on top. So I can just say add media screen and max - width of 768 pixels. I'll just say dot services container, and let's just say grid template columns 1FR. So bam, just like that. And it's pretty much more responsive, and that's super simple, and that's how I did it for this design. And if you want to make like the padding larger, you can for design's sake, but again, that's our preference. So now let's do the member. So let's do membership section here. So let me just go ahead and save this here. Go to the index HTML. Go under here. Let's do membership section. And then we can start adding in our code for the membership section. So this one, let's go ahead and let's just do dot, and then let's just say membership. And then inside here, let's just have an h1. I'm just gonna say dot. Actually, yeah, we'll keep the class off for now because we're We're gonna have to animate this later, but just call it view our plans. And then let's do let's do dot membership underscore DSC. And again, the naming, you want to name it something shorter, feel free. I'm doing it more for you to see what this is supposed to be. But there's definitely ways to make this even shorter. But let's just say get started today and receive 25% off your first month. And then under here, we'll say dot membership and be underscore wrapper. Then in here, I'll say dot membership underscore card. And then under there, we'll do dot membership underscore title, TITLE. And then here's essentially like a div containing the title. So I'm just gonna have the icon dot FAS dot FA dash DUMBBELL, so dumbbell. And then we're gonna press or say dot card dash icon, press tab here. And then under that, we'll have the actual let's say H3, put starter here. Say that for right now. Okay, everything's here. So you can see we got icon and then a little heading. And then underneath this div, we're gonna do dot membership underscore perks, press tab here. Then we'll have the P tag, we'll just say get, let's say get access to the entire gym. And then we'll have another P tag, will be $29 per month. And then underneath this div, we'll have a dot button, so a class or a tag with a button class. Href, we'll just put a slash for now, and here we'll just say sign up. So we'll save this here, and this pretty much is the, looks like where is the other P tag? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Yeah. All right. Actually, no. Hold on. I'm not sure why it's not. Yeah, so it's viewer plans. Let's make sure we got everything nice and wrapped in here real quick, because I can't see the. Yeah, so we have essentially that should be right here. Why is it not? Maybe the button. If I comment this out. Yeah, okay. The button's just covering it. All right, that's fine. Okay. So now this membership card is pretty much, we can just copy and paste this essentially 3 different times, and then we can pretty much style it from there. So let's go here, highlight the entire membership card. Oh, what happened? Let me go back. Let's highlight the entire cards, press enter, paste it once and twice. All right, so let's find the first one. So here's the second one here, and then we can pretty much change this one. Let's just say, instead of the dumbbell, let's change this to FAS FA dash BICYCLE. Let's change this to silver. Get access to entire gym. Let's do shift alt down arrow, copy it down. Change this to group fitness classes. And let's say $49 a month. And then for the last one, we can just say, let's say gold. And then let's see, get access to entire gym. Let's copy this one. Group fitness classes. Let's do another P tag. Let's say private personal training. And then we can say $99 per month. And then pretty much good. And then we can just go under this div and we'll just call this one like the team section. And now this is what we got so far. So now we do is style this, and then we'll have a little membership card. So first thing is first, let's do, scroll up, dot memberships. It's gonna be background var of dash dash black. Then we're gonna have the color of var of dash dash white. Let's do padding will be 6 rem calc of 100 viewport width minus, I'm gonna do smaller, so 1100 pixels, divide that by 2. And then let's do text align to be center. And then for the H1, notice how I don't have classes like on the like this. So another way you can like nest it. So as long as these are within the parent div, you can still target it. So you can just say like dot memberships, which is a parent div. Hold on, what is membership? Oh yeah, membership H1. Curly brace here. So this is, why is it saying, how do I spell it? Member. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, let me try to add the style and see if it fixes it. But so pretty much it's inside this memberships div, so I can just target whatever is within it. So the H1's inside of that, so I can just say margin dash bottom 1 rem. And then let's do font size of clamp of 2 rem, comma, 5 viewport width, comma, 3 rem. And then we're going to set the padding to 0 and 1 rem. So now we can do another, so we can say dot membership underscore DESC. We're going to set the margin dash bottom to 3 rem, font size to clamp of 1 rem, 3 viewport width, comma, 1.5 rem. And then padding is 1 rem here. So right now it looks crazy, but don't worry, we'll fix this. And let me make sure. Yeah, okay. So right now we need to fix this. So let's do the membership wrapper. So membership underscore wrapper. And we're going to display flex. So it's like this. And then we're going to do justify content space between. Now it's like that. Let's do align items. I want to make sure everything is starting. So let's do flex start. And let's set the padding to 1 rem. So it looks like the H1 might be in the wrong spot. Let me just make sure because let's see back here. Yeah, I don't know why it's not. I'll fix that in a second. We'll see. It looks all right now, but maybe I haven't added everything yet. And then let's start adding the cards. 'Cause right now it looks crazy. Like you see this, looks insane. So what we're gonna do is let's make sure we add in the membership cards. So let's do dot membership underscore card. So maybe, did I put the wrong? Yeah, okay, we're doing right. So let's do curly brace here. Let me scroll this up. Let's say padding 2 rem. Min height is 450 pixels. Width is 325 pixels. Background var of, what is it? Dash white. That should be background here. We can do color of var of dash white. Border dash radius to be 10 pixels. Display is flex, and flex direction will be column, and justify content will be space between. Alright, so now, yeah, that's what, there's something with my divs. That's most likely what it is. So let's go back and let's just start going through it line by line. So we got this div here. It's closing. Okay, that one's fine. We got our H1, P tag. Then we have the membership wrapper. Yeah, so it should be fine here. So then we have the membership card. So right here, membership card, which is then it has another div, membership title. And then it has the icon and the H3. It has another div, membership perks. So did I not? Let's do, Here, let's try this. Let's finish the styling really quick and let's see, maybe that's why. Because this shouldn't be a strange. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Let me see if that's probably why. Where's it at? Background should be black. So notice why the background is not even black yet. So did I not name? That's probably why. Okay, there we go. Memberships. So now if I go back, it looks like this. So this color should actually be black. That's my fault. Yeah. Okay, I was about to crash. Like, what am I doing wrong? So the HTML. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, so the HTML is fine. It was just the styling I missed. All right, so there we go. So make sure this is memberships with an S, and that color for membership card is black, and then this is also here. All right, cool. Okay, there we go. Makes sense. So now we can do dot membership underscore perks. Let's do min height of 150 pixels. Now the reason I did that is because I want the inside to all be at the same height, and if I don't, it's like this is going to be larger, so it's not centered properly unless you have like the same size within. So now let's scroll back. Let's do membership card. So let's do dot membership underscore card p tag. We can say margin dash bottom of 1 rem. And then we can say dot card dash icon. Let's do font size of 3 rem. And then let's do margin dash bottom of 2 rem. And color is var of dash red. Okay, and then last but not least, we got dot membership underscore card h3, font size of clamp of 1 rem, 5 viewport width, 2 rem, margin dash bottom of 2 rem. So for the desktop view, pretty much there. Go crazy with this design, change it up, make it look better. This is pretty basic, but you can go and like definitely refactor this and make it look different. And then we can just add the media queries, so like at media screen and max width of 1100 pixels. Curly brace, let's do dot membership underscore wrapper, curly brace, flex direction to be column, and then align items to be center. And then under here we can do dot, well actually let me say that first so you can see it's like this. And then we can just do dot membership underscore card with, I want to band 90%, and then margin dash bottom to be 2 rem. So here we go. That is how I created the membership, aka the card section. So now let's go ahead and let's do the team. So let's say team section for CSS, save it, and then we can go under here, and we already have the team section here. So then we can now go and start adding in the team section HTML. Let's do a div, so dot team, press tab here, and let me save real quick just so it aligns properly. Now inside of team, let's do dot team underscore wrapper, press tab here, and then let's do dot team underscore text, and then I'll press tab here. Now in the text div right here, let's just do, let's just add another P and let's just call this top line again. And then we can just say private coaching here. And then we can just do H1, let's say meet our trainers. And then outside the H1, we'll have a P tag. I'll just call this one team underscore description, or DSC for short. And then here you can just be like all our personal, and we scroll up, trainers have over 30 years of experience combined, and then each trainer specializes in ST ranked, am I spelling this right? STRENGTH and mobility workouts. Let's save that really quick just to check everything. And let's see. Maybe it's on the right page. Yeah, it should be on home. There we go. All right. I think I was just on the wrong page, but all right. Or maybe I just didn't click refresh. All right, so cool. Now we're here, and then under this div, we'll press enter. So now we have essentially, that's a text. So now let's do another one. So we can actually straight up copy this. And this is the way I set it up. I mean, feel free to refactor this and change it up. But I'll just copy and paste this. And then I'm just gonna say free trial for the top line, and let's do 7-day trial. So here, this description tag, so let's do this where you can work with each trainer for up to 7 days for free in order to see if they are a good fit for your goals. So then we have that div for the text, then press enter, let's scroll up. And now we'll just create the card. So these are pretty simple, but again, if you haven't already, let me Command B, go ahead and find 4 images of people, and ideally the vertical or like portrait layout. So now we can just add that here. So I'm just gonna do, let's see, I'll just call this one a team card. So I'm gonna dot team underscore card, press tab here, and just put the name. I'll just say this with Sarah. And then under that will be image, and let's do dot team underscore img. For the src, let's do dot slash images slash person dash one dot jpg. Alt, we can just put person, and let's save that here. All right, so we got first image. So let me Command B again to close out the tab. So now pretty much we can just copy and paste this. So let's do highlight the card divs 1, 2, 3 times. So that's 4 now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we just have to change the name. So let's see, where's the top one? All right, so here we can just go, let's do, call this one Kyle. And then this can be my image 2. This one will just change to Jess, and that will be 3. And this one can just be James. That is 4. So we'll save it here. So let's just double check everything's different. So 2 text divs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. All right, so cool. So now here, let's go under this div. Let's do command / for comment. Call this email section. I'll say that there real quick. Go to styles.css now, and now we can add in our style. So let's do, let me scroll this up so you can see it. Hold on. Team curly brace. And then we can just add the padding. So let's do padding, 8 rem, calc, double parentheses. Let's do 100 viewport width minus 1100 pixels divided by 2. And then we can go dot team underscore wrapper. Let's do display grid template columns. We'll do 1FR, and then grid template rows will be repeat auto 350 pixels. So in case you're not really sure what just happened, on desktop, this is going to make 2 columns, so side by side, which is the 1FR, and then the rows is just gonna fill automatically to the amount of content we have, and then it's gonna make them 350 pixels. So like if I scroll here, you can see this side by side, just like this. And right now, these are all essentially, they just stack on top. But notice on the original, if I scroll here, I see I'm going home here. On the original site, it's like positioned like in between each other, almost like on half of the half part. So pretty much here, in order to do that, let us finish up the styling first. Let's do .team __ card. So here I'll just do like margin 1 rem. Let's do border radius. Let's do 10 pixels. And I'm gonna set position, hold on, relative, because I want to position absolute the actual text, like the names. I'll just say that for now. This is what we currently got, like this. So then let's go ahead and let's see, do .team __ text. And then here, let's do padding 1 rem. And then under here, I'm going to target the actual, let's see, .team __ text h1. Let's do margin dash bottom of 1 rem and font size of 3 rem. So why isn't this refreshing? One sec. So I should go home. Not sure why it's not changing the okay, here we go. Yeah. So let me double check. Oh, that's a text, my bad. So okay, so my stuff. Let's see. Team __ card. Let me make sure this is even working properly. Alright, there we go. Okay, yeah. So I just need to make the image then. But let's do let's see. Here, let's do .team __ DSC. I'm gonna do font size. We'll do clamp of 1 rem, 3 for width, and 1.3 rem. And then we can do line height of 1.4. So we got a little bit of change here. And then let's see, let's start adding in the P and then the P tag and then also the image really quick. So let's do .team __ card P, so it's just a name. Let's do position absolute bottom 30 pixels. Do I save it now? You can't see the name yet, but let me let's do this. Let's do color var dash white, and then under here let's just make it left of 25 pixels with the font size of 3 rem. So I'll save that there, and now you see it shifts. And then we'll just do .team __ image, so img. We'll do width of 100%, height of 100%, and border radius of 10 pixels. Alright, so this is what we got going on right now. So now you can see this is essentially the 2 columns. And like if I were to make this like 50, it doesn't really change because we just have the default. But ideally, let's keep it like this for now. And then let's go here and let's see. I want to actually create the little positioning thing. So the way I did this, now I'm sure there's a bunch of ways you could test this out, but if you're not familiar with grid, let me actually pull up something really quick because I had to draw this out just so I could make sure I was doing this visually. But let me pull this up really quick. All right, so here I am on Figma, and let me just zoom in a little bit. So I made this little like rough draft, I guess you could say, like wireframe, where pretty much if you've never seen it, essentially you see this grid, you start it at 1 and then 2 and 3, and then also that's for the columns, and then for the rows would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So essentially my design was an image here, another image here, and then I wanted another row here. But then I have another text block here with then 2 images here. So essentially, you got row 1, 2, because it's right here. And then you have a third row, and then a fourth row. And then you had a fifth and a sixth. So if you want this image right here to span this shape, you essentially would have to say it needs to span from this 1 row all the way down to 3. And then if you want this to span, you'd have to say it spans from 1 to 2. And then this one would be 2 to 4. And then also for the column, it would have to be, this one right here is 1 to 2. And then the next column would be 2 to 3. So in case you're like super confused, just remember this visual or go back to it. But essentially if you look up like CSS grid spanning, or not even say spanning, but like grid row, grid column, you would see like a similar setup. So like if I go back, right now everything's essentially just like 1, 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and that like that's basically they just stack on top. So what I'm gonna do is let's scroll back. Actually, let me show you the finished one again, just so you see, because now you can see from my Figma here to this, it spans from 1 to 3, and this is 1 to 2. So that's essentially like the starting, and then from there you can just, you know, make this customized. So let's go and let's implement that. So this is one way I did it. Feel free to refactor this or let me know other ways, but you can just say team underscore text. And then the reason I named them like this is just so you can visually understand it. So like each of these are cards. I just call these cards or team cards. So that's 4 images. But then for the text, these are both divs, but I just call it text so that you can see it's like it's the text part. So you can call this content or whatever, but just note that this is its own div and then this is its own div. So now if we go back, I'm gonna target essentially the first one right here, this div, which would be the private coaching. And I'm gonna use nth child 1. So essentially, since all of these are within like this wrapper div, then you can just, the way I wrote it is where it's just nth 1, nth child 2, and then nth child 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you wrote it in a different order, then you would change the nth child number depending on your order. So if you had like something in between or whatnot, then you'd have to refactor that. But here I'm gonna say nth dash child, and this is gonna target that first div. And then I'm just gonna basically say grid dash row 1/3, and then grid dash column 2/3. So right now you can't really see anything because it's like it's everything else is positioned in its spot. So like it's just ruining everything. But let's see, let's go back here. And let's see. So grid row, actually let me see, maybe actually I did put it, should have put it with, yeah. So it put it right here. So essentially it spans from, let's zoom, let's bring this back. It spans right here, that's what we just did. So it's columns 2, 3, and then row 1, 2. So that's right there. That's exactly what we put here. 2, 3 column, and then row 1, 3. So I'm gonna go, that's like the most, I guess, detail I go. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory from here. So if I just do .team underscore text colon nth dash child of the 2, which is essentially the second text, I want this to position way at the bottom, which is way down here. So I want to say grid dash row 5/6, and then I'm gonna say grid dash column 1/2. So let's make sure I did everything, and let's even this out here. So right now it's not going to show yet unless I did a mistype, but once I finish the rest of the cards, this should be able to put its position. So let's do this. Scroll this back, and let's just add the next, let's see, let's do .team underscore card colon nth dash child of 3. So now I want this picture right here, the Sarah card, to just span like right there. So let's do grid dash row of 1/3, and then grid dash column to be 1/2. So now you see it spans right here, 1 to 2, or I mean 1 to 3 on the row, and then it's within column 1, 2 right here, and this is column 2, 3. So if you've seen this before, then it's pretty basic, but if not, I just want to just go into detail. Let me just copy this, let me paste it. We'll change this to number 4, and now 4, I want this to be in the rows 2 to 4, and then I want this to be in the second column, or the right column, 2, 3. So now you can see we got Kyle over here, and then just to go back and check, Kyle is the 4th child right there, and then we can just paste this again, and let's just change this to 5, and then I'll just do grid row of 3 to 5, and then grid column will be 1, 2. So I'll just save that there. So now we have Jess right here, and then the last one, we'll paste this, and we'll call this the 6th one. And here I'm just gonna do grid row will be 4, and then 6, and then it'll be 2 and 3. So now you can see you got a little card over here, James, and then we got our finished product right here. So now you can see that's a simple way to set up like a different design of with CSS grid versus doing like stacking them on top. And now you can see everything looks like this. So now we just add a little bit of tweaks to it, and then we'll pretty much be set. So let's do, let's see. Let's go to add media. Let's do the media creators. Let's say add media screen and max width of 768 pixels. And let's do .team__wrapper. Let's do grid template columns, 1FR, and then grid template rows of auto. And now it basically puts everything in one column, but the issue is the positioning of everything is off. So this way I did this, and feel free to let me know alternatives, but you can go here and just copy this, just paste everything. And then in 1, we can take grid row, make it 1, 2. Grid column can be 1, 2 here. For the second one, we'll do, let's see, this one's 6, 7, because this is the text now. And since it's on one column, it's longer than normal. And then I'll just keep a column 1, 2. For the third, let's do grid row of 3, 4. And then on the 4th child, we'll do 4, 5. And then the 5th, we'll do 5, 6. And then the last card will just be 2/3. And then also the column should be 1/2. And I also forgot to change this 4th one, should be 1/2. So if I save it now, everything stacks up. So the reason I've had the 6th one at 2, 3 is just because originally it was way at the bottom, so I just want to keep it up there. And then I think I forgot to add some padding on the actual wrappers. Let me go check again. So let's see. Team text should have a yeah, it should be a padding. So why is it not? Let's make sure this is even working. Team text is, where is that? Oh, that's not good. That should be team. That should be team. I don't even know how was that working. Some reason that was working earlier. I don't even know how. Or maybe it's just my gridding. But yeah, okay, let's see. Now. Alright, cool. So looks like it even worked even without me targeting the right class because it's in its own div. So it looks like CSS actually just noticed it. But we're still fine, so that's good to see. No real errors. So now you can see that's how we created the team section. So now this is the layout here. And then if you ever want to like rotate or like switch out these pics, then you obviously would have to just like, for instance, you'd have to position it differently. So you just replace like these properties with this image, vice versa. And then you can go crazy and add like way more different positionings. But that's pretty much the team section there. So let's go under here and let's do command slash. I'm gonna add a comment and let's just call this, let me call it email. I'll just say form section. I'll save it here. And then we can go back to the index HTML. We got the email section, and now we can go ahead and start adding in our email HTML. All right, so let's create a div with the class of email. Now in this div, let's do .email __ content. And then let's do an H1. Let's call this one just get access to members only perks. And then under the H1, let's just do a P tag. Let's do sign up for our newsletter below to get $100 off your first personal training session. Yeah, here we go. And then under the P tag, I'm gonna create a form and just just put a little hashtag here. And then in the form, let me create a div. I'll just call this one form _wrap. And let's just wrap, let's have a label. Let's do for email. Inside the label, we'll just put input. Type will be email. Placeholder will be enter your email, and ID, I'll just set that to email here. And then outside of this label, I'll just do a button. And actually, let's do button. And let's do the href. Actually, there's no href, my bad. Let's do the type equals to submit. And let's just call this sign up. And then we can save. So pretty much, you see here, it submits and just goes nowhere. But that's pretty much it. So let me just write, let's go under here. Let's just do footer section just so that we have it here. And before we add the footer, let's just style this really quick. So let's go style.css. Now here, let's just go ahead and let's do .email. We can set actually a cool trick to save some time. Let's do Command F. Let's type background. And then let's do :linear, type L. So we'll copy this right here. Scroll down all the way to the bottom and paste that here. So I want to actually change this up. So let's change the image to 3. Again, if you don't have that image, just go download one. This is just like some random gym picture. And then for the linear gradient, let's do 180 degrees here. And then let's do, I want to have a RGB of 0.06. And then outside this, I want to be 0%. And then for this one, I'm going to do 0.06 as well. And then that'll be 0%. And then let's do a comma. Actually, that should be 35%. And then let me copy one of these really quick. So there's RGBA 0%. Paste this outside of this comma. And then this can just be 0.1 at 100%. So in case you couldn't really see it, it's basically just 4 lines, 180 degrees on 1, this RGB 0.6 with 0% on 2, this on 3, and then this on 4. And then cool thing with background is you can pass in additional properties as well. So like let's do no repeat, and then let's just do center here. And save. And then you see it's like this. So now let's just do background size, do cover. And it's fine right there. And then let's do height 450 pixels. And now let's just add the additional size. Let's do width of 100%. Let's set the padding to 5 rem, calc 100 per width minus 1300 pixels divided by 2. Color will be var of -- white. Display is flex. Justify content is center. And align items is center. Save it, and this is what we got so far. So let's see. Bam. So now we just gotta style it a little bit more. So let's do dot email underscore content. I'm gonna say display flex direction column here, and let's do align items center. And now let's go under here. Let's do dot email underscore content h1. Let's do text align center, margin dash bottom 1 rem, font size clamp of 1 rem, comma 5 per width, comma 3 rem, and then padding 0.1 rem. And then let's do email underscore content p tag. So let's see, what's that? Text align center, font size, clamp of 1 rem, 2.5 per width, 1.5 rem, padding 0.1 rem, and margin dash bottom 2 rem. And then for the form, let me just put the index of 10 just to make sure like it's not hidden. The form underscore wrap, and let's target the input now, the little the actual thing we type in. Let's say padding 1 rem by 3 rem. So you see it increased. Then we just say let's do outline none, width 350 pixels, height 50 pixels, border none, margin dash right 1 rem, and border dash radius 4 pixels. That's what we got so far. And then if I bring this out on desktop, it looks pretty much completed. Now we just got to add some tweaks. So let's do let's see, at media screen and max width, let's do 768, and dot form underscore wrap. Let's do display flex direction column. Let's do padding 0.1 rem. So that should be good here for now. And then we'll do dot form underscore wrap input. We'll do margin dash bottom, let's see, 1 rem, width 100%, margin dash right 0. Looks like this. And then let's do button width of 100%, and then min width to be 350 pixels. So let me just make sure. Yeah, so it looks like the margin is like ridiculous. What happened? Let's see. Where did I put margin? Would it be right or left? Let me check. Yeah, it's not doing anything. So I'll fix that in a second. I'm going to double check. I might have added something I shouldn't have. But anyway, so let's do the last one, which is pretty much add media screen and max width of 400 pixels. And let's just set the button to be width of 100%, and then min width to be 250 pixels. So right now, let's see, let me just double check, because it looks like the wrap, or not the wrap, the input has like a unnecessary, let me see. Yeah, so p tag, I put this as what? Input. Yes, it should be what? Form underscore wrap input. Let's see, padding 1, and then, oh, That's why it should be 1.5. All right, it looks much better. So now, scroll this out. We currently have so far. So now we can pretty much start adding the code for the footer. So let me actually go to the bottom footer section here. And now let's go and add in the code here. So I'm gonna go under the footer section and let's start adding this in. All right, so let's just create a div called footer. And let's do dot footer underscore wrapper. Then I'm gonna have dot footer underscore DSC. We'll have the H1, call this one, say Lux Fitness. Let's do P tag luxury fitness. Oh no, I have it. Luxury fitness gym located in downtown Miami. All right, and then we'll just do, P. Actually, let's do P hashtag phone, because I'm gonna target that. And I didn't really use IDs in this video, but I just wanted to do it today, and it's for specific. Like if you only want to target just that, I could have just done class 2, but let's just do 305, and then let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So save that here. Let's double check, make sure everything's working. All right, cool. And now under here, let's do dot footer underscore links, dot footer underscore title, and let's just say contact us. And then let's do a dot footer underscore link, and let's set the href just to be /services.html. So this is just the first example I'm going to show you. So in case you wanted your footer links to link to a page in your website, that's right, that's how you do it there. I just say contact, but obviously you'd have to alter this to whatever you want. But instead, let's do Shift Alt down arrow. So let's do 1, 2, and I'm gonna keep the link. I'm not gonna change it, but you can go ahead and fix that too. We'll just say support, and then let's do sponsorships. So now we can pretty much just copy and paste this. But first, let's do this. We need to. So here's the footer link wrapper. We need to go under here again, do dot footer underscore wrapper again, because the way I did the mobile responsive is essentially like 2 columns. And then we can take this footer links here, paste it once, twice, save it. That's what we got so far. And then here we can just change it. So let's see, just to save some time, I'm just gonna copy and paste what I have, but just feel free to change these up, not a big deal. But all I did was just see, I just have membership pricing. So that's really all it is. And it looks like you have H2 for the title of that. So let's do, this should be H2. All right, cool. So this is what I got so far. So again, just go individually and change those out if you want to. If not, just leave them. And then let's style this up. So let's go here, let's do dot footer, let's do padding of 5 rem, and then let's do calc of 100 report width minus 110 pixels but by 2. Let's do display is grid. Let's do grid template columns. Repeat 2/1fr. Let's do color var -- white. And then let's do background var of -- black. So bam, and let's do dot footer underscore DSC, padding 0 to rem. Then let's do dot footer underscore DSC H1, margin - bottom, to rem, color var -- red, and font size 1.5 rem. So bam, as we got so far. let's do dot footer underscore DSC p tag, and let's do margin dash bottom of 1 rep. Then under here, we'll just do ID phone. We can just set the font weight to bold and font size to 1.2 rem here. Save that there. And then for the footer, I'm just going to go to wrapper, display grid template columns, repeat 2/1 FR, and then dot footer underscore links, display and flex. So right now you see they like all go in one line. I want to make them into a column, so I'm gonna say flex direction column. Line items, what is that? Items will be flex starts and padding 1 rem by 2 rem. And then let's do footer title. So let's do dot footer underscore title. I'm gonna say font size will be 14 pixels. Margin dash bottom will be 16 pixels. And then we'll do dot footer underscore link. Now the individual links, now let's just do text decoration. So take off the underline. Also, let's set the color. And this is like a, let's just do RGB 242, 242, 242. Say that really quick. You see, and like it's like supposed to be like a lightish white, gray. It's not supposed to be exactly white. And then let's just say font size 14 pixels with the margin bottom 0.5 rem. So bam, got that there. And then let me just copy this again. Enter, and let's do :hover, and let's just change this to color var dash red. Also, you can set a transition if you want to. So we can just say like transition 0.3s ease. And now let's do that. See what this looks like. Bam. So now we got a little hover action. Okay. And then we can just add media screen. So let's see. At media screen and max width 820 pixels. Boom. Let's see. Footer underscore wrapper. Grid template columns 1 FR. And then, oh, hold on. We're gonna go outside this. Say add media screen and max width of 400 pixels. And let's say footer. Now footer underscore DSC will be padding 1 rem. Dot footer underscore links is padding 1 rem. So bada bing boom, there we go. We got the footer in, and this is how it looks. So in terms of like the front end design, like this is like 99% of it. But right now, if you click here, then you click here, if you don't notice like a slight difference is the font. So this is like a default font. I'm not a fan of it. This makes it look just slightly better. Even on the cards, like it looks different compared to like here. So I personally like this font I have. So let me show you where I got this font. So let me just really quick, let me bring this back. Alright, so I just Googled Google Fonts Poppins, and let's click Poppins here. Now if you don't use Google Fonts, I mean it's pretty simple, but you can search up a bunch of different fonts. But here I want the 400 right here, and then I want the 700, which is bold. So then what you do is you just take this link, copy this here, go to your index HTML, just paste this right above the closing head tag, save it, and then you can go to the font family, copy this, scroll all the way to the top, and we already got it because I think I showed it in the beginning. So now refresh. Boom, it's popping now. See that? Now you can see it looks exactly the same. So there, I think it makes it look a little bit better. Again, that's my opinion, but feel free to test it out. And now we can actually go ahead and start adding in the animations. Now also, let me just double check. Yeah, okay. Yes, everything looks fine here. And then let's do a inspect really quick. Always want to check for errors just in case. For this HTML CSS is not too, probably gonna say you would not really find that many errors, but normally you might see it in like other pages. But yeah, so right now you can see like nothing, the other pages don't go anywhere. They're just like dead pages, but we can add that in. Actually, we could do that. Can I tell you we could do that now? And then I'll show you guys how to do the animation. So let's do this. For the index, just copy, literally just copy the entire thing. Just to save some time, because I don't want to sit here and spend like hours. And then I just paste, I'm just going to paste the entire thing in here. And then for the services, we can get rid of the email section here. We can get rid of the footer section. Actually, no, my bad. Command Z that, don't do that. Keep the footer. Where's this? Team. We get rid of the team section. Membership. We can do membership, we can get rid of the membership, and then we can pretty much save. So now, if we go to services, oh yeah, and we can get rid of the hero too. So let's see, hero, delete, save it. All right, so perfect. So now it's like this, and you can see it's just like that. So then we can just do the same for the plan. So if I go like, let's just copy the services now. Go to plans. Let's just paste that in. So let's just replace this. Go back to the index HTML. Let's go to membership section. We can just copy this. And then I can just go here and replace the, where's it at? This section with the plans or the membership section. And then now you can see it's just membership. And then for trainers, we can do the exact same thing again. We just delete this, paste in the most previous one we just added. Actually, no, hold on. Go back to services, copy, Command A, or delete, paste back services page directly in here. And then we can just delete this section here. And again, this is optional. You don't have to do this. This is just showing you like how I made the pages. And then for like the team section, we can copy this, paste it into the trainers, and then you can see we have it like this. So now if we go back to the home, main page, services, plans, trainers, and ideally if you were to make these, I'm just reusing the same stuff we have here, but like if you made a real site, you'd have to, if it mattered, you'd have to create your own custom like code. So again, this would be like a whole nother page. But since to save time, we just reuse what we created. And then also we can check the mobile, make sure everything's working. And it looks like it is. So now let's go ahead and add the last touch, which is the animations like here. You can see here, these animations here. So now let me show you how I added the animations utilizing GSAP. So if you haven't seen this before, just Google GSAP, and it's pretty much this one with green sock. And you can click on the website, or you can just click here on Get Started. And here we are on the site. So GSAP has a bunch of documentation showing how to utilize all of the cool tricks and tips. And they actually have this really awesome starter intro video showing how to get started in case anything is confusing or you just want to learn it really quick before I show you what I did. But pretty much all you really need to do is, if you see this video here, you really just need this link right here, the script tag. So if I just straight up copy this, and then let's go back into the index HTML. So let me close out all of these pages here. And let's go right above the app.js. If you try to do it below it, you might not see the animations. Let's just save this really quick. And then the other one that we're gonna utilize is actually, let me see if I can find this on their thing. So let's see. Here's scroll trigger. So go up to products, click on scroll. You can click on it. Yeah, scroll trigger. And this is the one that's gonna allow it to. Yeah, let me just pause it. This was gonna allow us to basically do animations on scroll. So all you really need is, let's see if I can find the. So that's literally all you saw here. So you can go to download or documentation, but like if I click download, it's gonna bring me to this page, and you don't really need to download this. All you really need is, if we go here, is this little helper, little section right here, and just click on CDN. Now if you want to download this and you're using a different language, feel free, but this is the easiest way to do it without having to do all that. And then you pretty much just need this code. You could just copy both of these, but since we already pasted or copied the first line, we can just copy this scroll trigger line, and then I'll just go here and then just paste this underneath it. So then I'll just go save it here. So now we can go to our app.js, and then let me just do a comment. I just call this animations. Save this here. And in terms of the docs, you guys can go in and look through it for like extra stuff, but for now we really don't need to do any of that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and add this line right here. So this line allows us to utilize the scroll trigger plugin. So let's do GSAP dot, and let's just call this register plugin. And then in parentheses we'll say scroll trigger. And now GSAP, if you've never used it before, this is like I'll try to make this as easy as possible to follow along, but just know there's way more complicated ways to write the same code and add additional features and tricks and say animation designs. But for this video, I'm just gonna keep it super simple. So pretty much there's multiple ways you can do animation. So let's just do GSAP, and you can say dot from, and then you have parentheses here. Now you can do .2, there's additional ways, but I'm utilizing majority for this example with .from. And here you want to pass in a class so that you can know what to actually animate. So right now, I never created, or let me maybe, I never really added any animation classes, so I want to leave this at the end. So instead, let's actually do this for the hero section. So let's scroll up to the, let's see if I can find it. Here's the hero section. So for the H1, the P tag, and the button, I'm just gonna go in between and say class equals to, and this is just the way I'm naming it for the tutorial video, but again, you can name this like a completely different name or like a shorthand version. But here, just to make it easy for you to understand it, I'm gonna say animates-hero. So then I'm just gonna copy this here, paste that into the P tag, and then I'm gonna actually add that to here as well. So animate hero into class. So I'm gonna save this here. So now all of these H1, P, and then the button essentially have this class called animate hero now. So now in the app.js, I can actually animate that class. I'm gonna say dot animate-hero. And since they all have the same class, it can do the little staggering effect, which essentially delays when each one gets animated. So it's kind of like it's stacked on top. And then you can do a comma here, and as you pass in a curly brace, and then pretty much we can set values. So like for instance, I want to have the animation last for 0.6 seconds. Opacity, I'll set that to 0. And then I want to animate the Y value to be -150. And then here's the stagger, which pretty much this will make it delayed in terms of the way they animate. So instead of the entire thing going in one little block, it'll do one by one. And then you can change it. The lower the number, the faster, the higher, the slower. So if I save this now, you can see it's like that. So if you want to change this to like 10 seconds, you can see it's like super slow. So again, that is just I would say this is like the easiest self-explanatory. Even if you watch like the docs or the tutorial videos on GSAP's website, it's semi-similar to this, give or take, but then there's additional things I added too. So now for the hero section, I didn't do any scroll effect. It's just straight up when the page loads, I'll refresh and do that. But here I'm gonna do a little animation with the scroll effect. So here we can actually just copy this for now, just to save the time. Paste this, let's say that really quick. And what we need to target is, I'm gonna create a class called animate services. We'll just say dash services. And then in order to have the scroll effect work, you have to add this property called scroll trigger. And then you gotta set it to whenever it hits this particular point on your page. So when I hit this dash animate services class, then add a comma here. So say right now, but nothing's there because we never added this. Let me actually copy this animate services, and then we can go and add the class individually to the property, to the tags or the HTML code that we want the animation to work on. So for instance, let's see, for the features, right now we have the class top line, so we can just paste in the animate service class here. For the heading, I'm gonna paste it in here. And then for this p tag, for the service feature, I'll just paste it in there. And then I'll just rinse and repeat for the next remaining p tags here. So like this, like this, like this, this, and like this. And again, I'm only naming it for tutorial sake, animate-services, but you can make this like an-1 or an2 or whatever, animate y, whatever short key or code you want to do. And then if I were to add this to the image, I'm gonna add another class to the image called animate-img. So now you see it does a stagger effect and it makes a little effect like that. So if you like that design, or an animation, feel free to keep it. But for this one, I'm just gonna do, let's see, duration, let's make it 0.5. Opacity, let's make it 1. And we'll change this value from X to Y. And then stagger, I want to make it a lot faster because it's just, you don't want to make someone wait super long for this content, but you can see it's like this. And then we can go here and just copy this again, paste this, and we added the animate image class. Let's just do img here, and then you can change it to, but since they're essentially the same div, it pretty much will get triggered. And let's set the duration. Let's see, I'm gonna set this to 1.2, opacity 0, x minus 200, and then let me just delete the stagger here. So it was like that. So now if I refresh the page and then we scroll down, that is what we created so far, utilizing the scroll effect. So again, there's more complicated ways where like every time you scroll into it, it will trigger, but I just kept it simple like this for this video. And now let's go ahead and let's animate the rest. So let me just go, let's just copy this one, services, paste it here. Let's call this one animate membership. And then we'll just do the same here, animate membership. And then let's copy this word, animate membership. Let me save it real quick. Then go back to the index.html. And then in the HTML, we just got to add this class. So let's do it on the, let's see, h1, let's say class equals quotes and a membership. And then let me copy this whole entire line, and then we can just paste this in. So let's do, actually let's just type it in here because I already have a class, animate membership. Let's see, wrapper. Yeah, so actually, yeah, we're fine there. So we don't have to paste that because we only have it twice there for the top. And then I have a different one for the card. So like membership card, I call this one animate card. And then we can go to the next one, membership card, paste it here. And let's call this animate card here. So now we go back to app.js. So now if I just refresh it, you see it already works, but let's do duration. Let's set this to 1. Opacity, let's set as 0. Let's set this to Y value. And stagger we can do, let's do 0.3, and then let me do a delay too as like 0.5. So then we can actually copy this, scroll up, paste it here. Let's do animate card here, and then we'll do stagger. I'll make it a little faster with a delay of like 0.2. So again, this is just what I put, but you can always go fix it to yourself. So now, let me go back and make sure we have the scroll. Yeah, okay. So refresh here works, and then here it works as well. So that's just a little basic animations here. And you notice how like they don't go exactly the same, they stagger essentially. So now we just have 2 more animations, and then that completes the animation. So this one's pretty simple too. So let's just copy this for now, paste this, and let's just call this one animate team. Same here, animate team. And let me just go ahead and let's see, stagger, let's do 0.3, delay 0.2. So right now nothing happened, but let me copy this one more time. And then let me add animate email. So I'm gonna create the animations first, and then we'll add the classes in to actually trigger these later, because it's pretty quickly. And then let's see, duration, let's do 0.8. Opacity, fine, that's fine here. We can change the stagger to 0.25, and then the delay to 0.4. So I'll save that here. So now we're just gonna add animate team class and the animate email. So let's go to the team section. So let's see here. And for team text, let's do animate team. We'll copy this, paste it in the next team text. And then for the cards, we can do animate card again, animate team. Same thing, team card, animate team, animate team, animate team. So I refresh this now. The team gets animated as well. And then let's go to the emails. And then I just have to add in my animate email. So for the, let's see, h1 class equals animate email. So we'll go here. And then for the p tag, I'm just paste this here. And then for the form, I'll just paste this here. So save it. And then you can see it looks like this. So now I refresh the site, animates there, here, there, you can see here. And again, you can change like the timing, and then also this one did it, but since I already scrolled down, it like you couldn't really see it. But like here, actually let me go back up here. So animates, and then here. So this one's a little quick because like the viewport width is here. So again, you can change the delay to something like, let's see, you want to change this to like 1 second. And then you can scroll down here, and then we go here, and now you can see it's much better. But again, it just depends on what you think looks good and what doesn't. So let me just put like let's put like 0.6. So again, refresh, check it again, and it looks like it's loading faster. So again, you can do 1 second, it doesn't really matter. Feel free to tweak these. You can also do stuff on the footer as well, and then we can just double check, and then pretty much. Also too, if notice how like if I switch the page, it doesn't animate. So like what you could do is go to index HTML and just copy these script tags here, and then just go into each page and paste them right above the app.js. Save. We'll go here, save it here, and then here, save it there. So now if we go back, click here, hold on. So I think, did I put the, yeah, I don't know why it's not. Let me double check, make sure. Yeah, app.js is there. Oh, I know why, exactly why the animation not working is because these don't have the actual classes. So for instance, let me just go ahead and paste in my other file here. So basically you just got to go back and add the class. Like you go to index HTML for like services, which is what, up here to here. We can paste this back and then just go here and then just switch this out because this one has the animate classes on it. Save it, and now you can do it. So now you can go in there, you can see it's like this, services, now animate. So now you just got to add those animate classes back into these other pages, and then it should animate just fine like that. And this is what we ended up creating for today. So if you did enjoy this video, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe if you are new to the channel, comment down below any tips or tricks refactoring the code, ways to make it better, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.